each and every entity in a landscape CAD drawing will have some sort of grip or handle on them. Where they are and how many they are depends on the type of entity. So if I select a line without starting any command, you can see I have 3 grips or handles, one at the midpoint and one each at either end. In contrast, a polyline has a number of different grips or start points. If I select just the polyline on its own, notice that the vertices of the polyline, which are indicated by these grips, are numbered 0, 1, 2 and 3 and so on. You can use the presence of these handles in a number of ways. Let's pan up a little so that we can see some of the other entities. A rectangle, for the sake of argument, has got a grip in the centre of the rectangle. So we can use them in combination with our entity snap toolbar, or our osnap toolbar. So I could start another line. I'll type the shortcut L for line, and if I say I'm going to start a line here, let's work on the one where we know its grips. I can start here and move to an end point. I come over here and say osnap end. So can you see that the new line is relying on the grips or handles that are on the existing element there. So it's possible to draw and place new entities using these sort of grips. You can also use them without issuing a command. If I select that new line that I just added, if I then right click, I can select move at this point and the cursor will jump automatically to the midpoint and I'm moving that line. Because polar was on, let me do it again, I'll zoom in, I select the handle, I'm already in the middle of the move command, pick the line, right click and move, pick the handle and move, and you may just be able to see a dotted line moving out at an angle of 135. So I've moved that line a precise distance at an angle of 135. So you can edit with the grips. So as well as using the osnap toolbar to draw, say, a line from here perpendicular to that line using the perpendicular osnap, we can find other entities. So let's come down to the circle. So we could pick up the centre of a circle like so and draw a line from it. But equally, we can select the circle, then choose the line command, and we can zoom in on one of the quadrants of the circle. I could pick the bottom quadrant there and I'm drawing a line. So can you see that every entity in a CAD drawing has some sort of handle associated with it? See, a point has only one handle. A piece of single line text will have a single hotspot or grip or handle, whatever you want to call them. Here's an arc, so you can edit the arc, easily change the rotation angle of the arc. There's the rectangle, so we could draw a line from the midpoint of any one of those lines there. Sorry, I've picked end. We can find the midpoint there. Then we could go to an intersection or another end point or wherever we need to go. A point is known as a node, so we can say we're going to draw a line as we have from the midpoint of one side of the rectangle to a point. So it's really important that you understand osnaps or entity snaps in combination with the properties of individual elements. So all of these elements have different properties. The multi-line, the ellipse will have a long axis and a shorter axis. Here's some hatching done between a circle and a polyline. Here's some multi-text. It's got several grips. It's used, of course, to size the text inside the box. It's really important that you experiment with the grips and right-clicking and pick up commands from here and work in combination with your osnaps to draft efficiently. It's a little easy to miss, but there's some really important tricks hidden behind the right mouse click when you select an entity. Let's, for the sake of argument, imagine I want to copy some more examples of this symbol. I can select the symbol, I can right click, pick copy. I'm asked for a base point, so I'll zoom in, I'll say I want the centre of that, or in fact the base point of the block to be the base point. Now I'm asked for a second point. If you right click at this point, you can input a coordinate, and that coordinate can be Cartesian absolute or polar relative. Different sorts of input coordinates are possible, but you can use snap overrides at this point. You can pick up your endpoint, midpoint, and so on, all the osnaps that we've been discussing and which are available on the osnap toolbar. You can reach via a right click.